Your only decision from now on is what type of prison you want to go.
What is it with this kid?
Just reminds me of me.
Bird's rough, innit? Makes you jumpy and shit. You got on you? Ain't got nothing.
The truth is, Frank, I'm a violent man.
Tula, start carving.
Hello and welcome to the latest Screen One interview. And today I am joined with British acting royalty, the one and only Craig Fairbrass, who is starring...
Royalty, I like that.
Yeah, no, we'll give you that. Who is starring in this week's A Violent Man, which is in both cinemas and available on digital on Friday. So welcome, Craig. Thank you for joining us today.
Thank you for having me, man. Yeah,
no worries at all. It's an absolute pleasure. So can you tell us a bit about your character and the film A Violent Man for us, please?
God, where do I begin? It's a heavy-duty story, put it that way. I play a character called Steve Mackelson, who's serving 20 years for killing his wife and her lover. Obviously, the environment I've grown up in and the type of man I am, I've grown up in a cycle of violence. I'm in this prison and, you know, the monotonous day-to-day things. And then I get a new cellmate, a young black kid who's like a gang member, played by the unbelievable Stephen Adebola. He plays Marcus Wainwright. And basically it's about me coming to terms and with a system, prison, my life, my past, what I've done. And then I recognize a lot of me in Marcus. And he's vulnerable and he's in this place, and yeah, I sort of take him under my wing. You know, I can feel what he's going through. And basically it's the story of our relationship, you know, and dealing with the horrors of what you deal with in prison. You know, living with other killers, the gangs in there. Yeah, it was a very intense role. I've got to be honest with you. When Bart came to me with a script and said, you know, have a look at this. Tell me what you think of this. I read it. I said, well, it's a dark piece. I love dark films, and coming off the back of Villain and Bart coming off of Boiling Point, he said, listen, you know, I've shot this film Boiling Point all in one take, and I want to try something. And I was like, go on. He said, I want to try and shoot this whole film in one room. I said, it'd be impossible to do. He said, no. He said, we're going to go to the studio. We're going to build it. We can take the ceilings out, the walls out, the floor out. We can do everything. And I was really intrigued by it because I do love a challenge. And the role was good. There was a lot of drama in it, and I'm sort of gravitating towards that stuff. It's nice when you get a little bit of meat, a little bit of subtext, a little bit of depth as an actor. You know, you've got something you can try and do something with, you know, with the stuff I've been doing in the past.
Yeah.
Anyway, so listen, we've got this amazing DOP, Stefan Kupek. You know, we're going to really go for it. And the finished product is the film you've seen.
Yeah, and it is quite incredible. There's no two ways about it. It's really well done. Like I said, it's all pretty much set in this one cell room. So how did you find the filming of that? Because it you know, it's very like...
It was tough. It was really hard. I mean, not only that, we were shooting this film in lockdown. So I was getting tested. The doctor was coming around to my house regularly. Then I'd drive myself to work, obviously, because I didn't want a driver. So I tried to minimize everything.
Yeah.
And then, you know, it was difficult because, you know, you've got all these guys there, you got the crew, and we're all in this one room with masks on. So, you know, obviously they're, you know, turning over, final checks, action, masks off, you know, and then, you know, you do what you got to do. And we really got away with it. It worked.
Yeah.
The feedback on the film has been incredible. I was like, you know, my God, this is either gonna blow up. People are either gonna take to it, It
Yeah.
is for a certain audience. Do you know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah.
People appreciate that stuff because it is psychological. Obviously, there's violence in there, of course there is, and that, but it's about the psyche. Do you know what I mean? Of going and what's going on in someone's brain, what they're thinking, their insecurities, vulnerabilities. It's all that stuff. But I love in films.
Yeah. So as you've just said there, it is punctuated with some serious violence in the film. So, and you also mentioned, you know, it's quite dark. How do you get yourself into those kind of dark spaces to be able to produce that? Because it is so intense, some of those scenes, like when you attack one of the other inmates, it's fairly unrelenting. It's not, you know, it's not sort of, oh, he might be all right. It's no, that guy is not all right. So how do you get yourself to that level of intensity?
I don't know. I mean, it's just, you know, for me, at the end of the day, as an actor, I've always tried to make everything as believable as possible. Just try and make it real. But at the end of the day, it is pretend. You know, 5 minutes before that, you're standing outside with a cup of tea. You know, then you've got to go in there and you've got to pretend. And it's all about how well you can pretend, I think. And we were blessed. When I say blessed, I mean, the actors on this film, I can only give them a massive G, especially the bad guys, all the villains.
Yeah.
You know, Morgan Watkins, Thomas Dominique, you know, Michael Lindell. They were all brilliant actors. And they're all very versatile actors. That's what I liked about it. They came in and they all did their thing. And they all had their own weight and believability, and they blew me away. I've got to be honest with you.
Yeah. There's one particular scene I want to talk about, which is, I'm trying not to give too much of the story away, but there's a bit where your cell is invaded by a mass of humanity. And, you know, you're talking about you filmed it during COVID and stuff, but how on earth did you choreograph that scene? Because there's a lot of moving parts and limbs, and how was that?
Well, you know, Ross McCall, our director, he, from day one, from the first moment I met him, he had a clear picture in his brain of how he wanted to shoot this film. And, you know, he's very film literate, smart guy, and wanted to make a very different film. He wanted to make it very, very stylish. He didn't want the normal, you know, gratuitous in your face. He wanted it to sort of hit you inside and make you think. Obviously, we had Dan Stiles, our stunt guy, our coordinator, would come in for that day, and just lots of stunt fellas, and we just shot what we could, because obviously we were in a limited space. So, and we just tried to make it as horrific as possible, because then things happen.
Yeah.
You know.
So did you take any bumps and bruises, or?
A little few. Oh, I always get a few.
Do you enjoy that then?
No, I don't. That's the last thing I want.
So moving on.
Sorry, go on.
Well, you were saying, sorry.
No, it's all part and parcel, but with those type of films. But I had a feeling when we was making it, you know, when you are with good people and people care, and you've got a great script, you know, and it was a humongous challenge, because we could have gone to a prison, we could have stretched it out, but we've had a lot of them films. You know, this is super stylized. As I said, Stefan Kupek, 135 different camera angles, shots. That camera never leaves the cell. You know, but you don't get that feeling of that.
Yeah, that's right.
You do if you're looking for it, but if you suspend your belief and get sucked into the story, you know, it's very enjoyable. I'm glad you liked it, though. I really am. I'm really pleased that people are getting what we tried to do.
I think it's because it's, although you do, like you said, you do a lot of these kind of films. When we see the posters behind you there, you know, you do this sort of bad guy, as I put, wrong and types. But this is different. This is not just, you know, I'm going to walk into a bar and bash you up. This is a very intense individual.
Well, yeah, it is. And coming off the back, we decided, you know, I've got a great relationship with Bart. He's got fantastic taste in film. He really has. He's like me, you know, we like a certain film. Don't get me wrong, I'm an actor, and in certain times you got to do what you do as an actor to go and earn a living. But I know the type of films I like to watch. And yeah, we just set out, you know, we've just found another one that we're now developing. It's the fact of, you know, they're very hard to find good scripts, good stories, original, point of difference. As you said rightly, this is my study, and it's only 2 weeks ago I said to myself, I've got to start getting all my little films on the wall. So as you can see, I'm making a collection because I'm now a granddad, so I want my little grandson to know my little legacy, you know.
Hopefully he won't be watching them yet, though.
No,
maybe a little bit young for them.
No, I'm actually watching Peppa Pig with him, so.
So we're going to see you in Peppa Pig the movie next, then.
Who knows?
So where are talking about that? So where will we see you next? Have you got any projects coming up? What are you working on next?
I did a little couple of days on a mate's film, The Sun Always Rises. Roland Manukin, who's a good friend of mine. We've done a lot of films together. It's his directional debut. Did a little bit on that, and there's a couple of things bubbling right now that I'm just about to sort of pull the trigger on. So I don't like to talk about them because, you know, in this game it's like that, you know. But there's some good stuff.
So have you ever thought of surprising everybody and, you know, rolling into a slapstick comedy or anything like that in the future, or do you just like to stick with what you know?
No, you know what I mean. As I say, I'm an actor at the end of the day. I love acting, but unfortunately, you know, the way things are, I'm very lucky to be doing what I'm doing. Now, I know loads of always say this and I'm repeating myself, but I know millions of actors who don't act. So, you know, I know you can get pigeonholed and you get known for something, but, you know, it's nice to build a brand. You know, because I watch branded actors in films. So, you know, who knows? You never know. The more you do, the more you should do.
Yeah. Well, on that note, thank you very much for your time, because we have actually run out of time. And once again, remind everybody, Friday the 4th of February, A Violent Man comes out in UK cinemas and available on digital everywhere. We'll put the link for the Screen One review just below here in the box. And we hope to see you again, Craig, fairly soon. Don't leave it too long for your Grace Screens. And well done for A Violent Man. It's absolutely superb. And I implore you all to watch it as soon as you can. You are going to be taken aback by Craig's performance because it is utterly stunning. So
I really appreciate that. Thank you very much.
No worries at all. Anyway, we'll see you next time on the Screen One interview.
Will do.
You. Goodbye.
Take care, mate.
If there are any more incidents, allegations, it's over.
Don't, mate, don't.